The story of World War II and the atrocities committed by Hitler and the Nazis is well known in the West. Less well known is how our ally, Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, used the war to occupy Eastern Europe. He imposed a 50-year rule of terror on formerly free nations. Days before Hitler invaded Poland, launching World War II, he and Stalin secretly agreed to divide Eastern Europe between them. Stalin took the Baltic republics, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. He immediately sent Moscow-trained communists and his secret police to seize control of the governments. Together, they began to deport tens of thousands of Estonians, Latvians, and Lithuanians from their homes to the Siberian wilderness.
Mes 1940.
In the spring of 1941, after the Russians came to Lithuania, we had left our house and gone into hiding at my uncle's farm because we were afraid that Father was going to be arrested. The Soviets were arresting all the men, but on the night of the 13th, my father and brother Romas reached the farm. Later that same night, Lithuanian and Russian communists came and arrested us all. Red Army soldiers burst into the farmhouse. They ordered us to be ready to leave in 2 hours. Mother started to pack some of our things, but Father told her to stop it. "They're going to kill us all anyway," he said. We were convinced that they were going to shoot us. We had practically nothing with us. I was in sandals and a summer dress. I was 11. They put us in a truck, and we drove to the railroad station. It was already very crowded. People were upset, crying, and then some soldiers grabbed my father and started to drag him away. I was hanging on to him, and I began screaming. I wouldn't let go of him. So they beat at us with their rifles and pulled me away. Then they pushed Mother and Romas and me toward other cattle cars. We were packed in with many women and children. But somehow I managed to slip out of the car. I wanted to look for my father. I ran along the train. By now, many more people had arrived at the station, shouting and looking for their own relatives. I was screaming for my father, "Velitis, Velitis!" And then from inside one of the cattle cars, packed with men, someone called to me. I stopped, and I peeked in through a crack. The men inside were all crowded together in the summer heat, like matches in a box. Their shirts were off, sweat running down their bodies. Father managed to squeeze through them to an opening, and he pulled off his wedding ring and slipped it to me through the slat. "You will need this to feed yourselves. Give this to your mother. You'll need it for food. And tell Romas, from now on, he's got to take care of the family." Then the soldiers grabbed me and dragged me back to the other car. That was the last time I ever saw my father.